In this episode, we're going to talk about how to turbo your G6 motor. So we've had non-stop messages about information of the G6 motor, which is what we have currently for our Mazda Bravo, which also comes in B2600s and Couriers and whatnot, that model of engine, the 2.6. We had turboed ours, and this is what you need to turbo yours. So whenever we do anything on our cars, even if it's engine related, drivetrain related, anything to do with building it, we always consult with a mechanic or an auto electrician or an engine builder. So make sure you always ask for help. So one of the questions that we get asked a lot is, what size turbo are you running? So I'm running a 3076 with a 0.83 housing on the rear. I did that because I got a 40mm wastegate and I don't want to come on boost at $2,000, because then I'll be on gate and screamer everywhere and it would annoy people. Because I'm running low boosts, gate opens up quicker. Personal experience, I reckon the 3076 is probably your best bet, your best bang for buck. You can go smaller, other people do go smaller. It's a good, decent sized turbo, makes the power you want, and yeah, it looks pretty good in the engine bay. If you want a turbo exhaust manifold for these engines, Selman Built Designs actually make a log manifold, which is what I've got, and it works pretty well on a T3 flange. Most turbos these days are either T3 or T4, so it's pretty easy to get what you need for that manifold. He has them on his website, so head on over to that and order yours today if you want to go that way, or make a custom one. Always up for people doing custom work. So with my turbo, I've also got an external gate, so external wastegate. I have a Turbo Smart 40mm comp gate. You can get a GFB EX 44mm, which will work just as good. So I highly recommend going those guys, Turbo Smart or GFB, just because they're renowned for being top quality and proven performance. The next thing I'd be upgrading is a fuel pump. Fuel pump is a must when you're doing anything turbo related. I have a Walbro 460, it's a bit big, so I'm going smaller. I'm going a Walbro 255. That is what I've been told, that's what it's been recommended. So yeah, get a Walbro 255, it'll work for what you want if you want to make under 200 kilowatt. Next is injectors. Now this one was a tricky one. This one took me a while to figure out if there was any other manufacturers that made the right size injectors. And R32 and R33 injectors are 440cc. They're the same size as a factory injector for the G6 motor. I am running 440 R33 GDR injectors in this new build that I've got, because I'm only running like 150 kilowatt. I don't need massive amounts of injector to do what I need. But if you are making any more than 200 kilowatt plus, I'd highly recommend going probably 550s to 750s. But then again, ask your mechanic or your tuner, they'll be able to recommend you on the right ones anyways. Now with boost controlling, I have a GFB G-Force 3 boost control. It's electronic. Now that is perfect. You can dial in what you want for your boost. You can do boost by gear, enter as a scramble mode, etc, and it looks pretty good in the interior. But there is another competitor, there is Turbo Smart eBoost 2, that is also just as good. It's a bit more pricey, but it's also renowned for being one of the best. So there's two choices for you. The next thing on the list is a fuel pressure regulator. Now, I have a 1200 Turbo Smart FBR, that is working just fine. That is perfect. Don't want anything bigger than that unless you're going to make like 300 kilowatt or more. I highly recommend just going to 1200 if you just want to make like 150 to 200 kilowatts. It's pretty decent, it's the right size for it. But like I said, if you want to go bigger, go to the FBR 2000 or go FXR GFB. When you get your fuel regulator, also get a gauge so you can check out where the fuel pressure reg is sitting at, because there's nothing worse than putting too much pressure in or not enough. So be sure to get one of them also, that will save you in the long run. The next thing I highly recommend when it comes to doing anything boost related is getting head studs and a metal gasket. Those two things are going to save you massive amounts of time in destroying heads, or lifting the head I should say. That is going to help you keep the head all intact, keep the gasket all intact. Back to gaskets, I have a VRS metal gasket kit which works just fine. Just make sure when you put it on, you put the right amount of sealant on it, You don't want to overdo it, otherwise it'll end up down in your engine and on your pickup and could cause some more issues. Now, one of the things that I get constantly messaged about is, can you run high boost on a factory ECU? Well, the main reason is no. I highly recommend going an aftermarket ECU. I've only got a factory ECU for now because I'm running like 5 to 9 psi, which still isn't great, because generally timing advances in the NAs. You don't want that in the turbo. You want the timing to go down when you're on boost. So running high boost on a factory ECU is going to cause it to pretty much detonate. So I highly recommend not doing it if you're going to run any more than 9 pound basically. Even then, it's still a bit risky. So in saying that, there is plenty of aftermarket ECU options out there. There's EMS, there's Haltech, there's Link ECU, there's Motec, there's all these other ones. If you want a cheap ECU that doesn't break the budget too much, Haltech 550 are pretty decent. It'll do just right. There is also the Link ECU G4X Monsoon X. That is a great ECU, and you can have anti-lag with that one and launch control. Some built designs that also do the exhaust manifold have been developing a plug-and-play ECU for the G6 engine, which is pretty cool. That is going to be run on Tuner Studio. But head on over to the website, have all the information on there. So obviously, intercoolers, pretty biased. Plasman, it's where I work, it's where I love. They are top quality products. We do 480 by 320 by 63 intercoolers, which is just the right size for your G6 engine. Flows good, looks good, performs well. There is other options. You can go Aeroflow. They have a whole bunch of 76mm and 63mm intercoolers, pretty much to fit your ride. So next thing is an air filter. I recommend going K&N air filter. Like a lot of people, they're renowned for being top quality and performance, so it's just an easy choice to go with them. The next thing that will help your car perform when you're doing a boost application is run a bigger exhaust and dump pipe. I have a 3-inch exhaust with one muffler, and I have a 40mm screamer pipe off my wastegate. So sounds pretty good. It isn't overly loud, and the flow is pretty good. And another thing is to get a wideband O2 sensor. That will save you, so you can keep an eye on your AFRs to figure out if you're running rich or lean. Now, like I said in the beginning of this video, always consult with a mechanic or an engine builder when doing any modifications to your engine. Hope this gives you an insight of what you can do to your G6 engine, just like I am with my build, that doesn't break the budget. So like and subscribe and keep on trucking.